Well, I was born with glaucoma, and I had a couple surgeries before the age of 10, and the glaucoma stabilized up until 4 years ago when I noticed a change in my vision. I thought I just needed new glasses, but it turns out that my glaucoma had come back and a cataract to start to develop. So I rushed into the doctor, and he prescribed some medicines, and he wanted to declare me legally blind. I wasn't quite sure at the time. I was, it was a lot to take in. It scared me, so I was reluctant to be declared legally blind. I mean, that meant a lot. I had just lost my job, my health insurance, my ability to support my family, and now I had that thrown in my lap. Eventually I gave in, and he declared me legally blind and referred me to AVRE. I think the first person that came to my house was Annie, and then I believe Annie set in motion getting me in contact with other people at AVRE. The second person I met with was Steve, my mobility instructor, and he introduced me to the white cane and got me walking around my neighborhood and crossing intersections, and that was a big one. That one gave me back a lot of my independence. The services that AVRE provided gave me back my life. Without the services, I would be at home, probably by myself. Through the services AVRE provided, I can live my life again. AVRE is here to give me the skills that I need to get back to what I wanted to do with life. Maybe go back to school or get a job or whatever it is that I do decide to do. I know that AVRE will be there, and they will assist me in whatever I need, and continue to give me the skills that I need to achieve those goals.
Aspen stopped breathing when she was about 14 hours old, and because of that, and they couldn't figure out why right away, she was in the NICU. So when she finally got out of the NICU, we ended up going from doctor to doctor trying to figure out what was going on. Eventually, she was about 3.5 months old, and it was the neuro-ophthalmologist that told us that Aspen was going to be a Braille reader, that her optic nerves hadn't developed fully. So we got set up with the AVRE when we relocated to this area, and that was in August of 2011.
We did cooking skills with Mrs. Griffiths. Learn how to cut food that's already on your plate. With Miss Margaret, work on street crossing, finding the button on the pole to push so that the light comes on, listening for when it's quiet or when the traffic's going in the right direction to cross the street, going into a store or like a Vestal Bakery or a Subway or something, and ordering and paying and carrying it out independently. Yeah, I loved it. Michael's was great. I had a great job coach. I learned so much about crafting and how different crafts that I don't do are sold at Michael's. And I got to help customers, and sometimes I get to help customers with something that I also do or know about, so I can give them suggestions.
Yeah, I think that without the services that the AVRE has provided, Aspen would be nowhere near ready to graduate from high school and attempt to be an independent, successful, happy adult.
I'm either going to go to either the Carroll Center or the Iris Network program. I have a lot of different areas of interest. I like data, I like chemistry, I like cooking, I like art. Laura Nikolai, she was the one that taught me beading and really made me able to continue that hobby.
I learn and have learned so much from just observing their lessons, and helps me as a parent be able to reinforce what it is that they're teaching Aspen, and how can I help her continue to practice those skills even when the teacher's not there.
I didn't realize until I saw a doctor that I came home from work one evening, took a large curve, and with my visionary hallucinations, I was seeing people in the road, and I put my car in a telephone pole. I was going to Stepping Stone, and they directed me to AVRE, which I got a case manager, and she's very good. And she showed me everything in my home. Then I got a mobility counselor from there, which was Steve Connors, and I've improved my mobility in my home situation. I'm now able to go back to work. I have found a lot of good friends. I'm able to communicate and say that it's, helping my depression from sitting home. The projects I work on, I'm varied. I never know from one day to the next where I'm gonna be. I started out in light assembly. I'm right now on a project from Bates Troy. I've done JAWS. I've done the hydration part. It's very comforting. I definitely enjoy working here. I've met people like Cassie, and that's a thrill. Absolutely liberating.